Good morning, Mr. Marmot. How are you? Or Mrs. I don't know.
Ooh,
oh,
yawn.
Yeah. All right. We will continue on.
All right, we are making our way around the Rim Trail alternate, which, while it's technically not the official PCT, is much more scenic. So the purist in me, struggles with that a little bit because, again, we're not hiking the official trail, and it's also shorter, which is kind of convenient, but then we would miss out on seeing the lake almost entirely because the actual trail goes way wide of the caldera itself. So we decided to do the Rim Trail because we really wanted to take it all in. So while we were walking, we decided that, or it occurred to us rather, that we haven't explained to you why we call each other Helium and Agate. So if you're not familiar with hiking culture, you would think that was kind of weird. So on hiking trips, especially on the big trails like the Appalachian Trail or the Pacific Crest Trail, it's common practice to go by a trail name instead of your real name. So not really for anonymity, but I think just for convenience, because there's probably a lot of Marks and Sarahs and Johns out here, but there's only going to be one Helium or one Agate. So I got my name, Helium, on my first attempt of the AT in 2012. And it's a reference to somebody saw me climb up a mountain really fast and accused me of having helium in my backpack. So it actually predates my role as a chemistry teacher, so that's kind of funny. And I gave Agate her name. There's Agate. Hi, Agate. I gave Agate her trail name when we hiked the Superior hiking trail a couple years ago, because she has a propensity for finding and picking up agate, which are these very pretty little rocks, but nobody carries rocks while they're hiking except Agate. Agate fills her fanny pack with like half a pound of little rocks to take home and collect over the years. So that's how she got her name, and she's also a geologist, so that's pretty convenient. So anyway, when you hear us talking about helium and agate, that's what that's all about. So let me show you the lake real fast. So there's the lake over my shoulder. It's beautiful and blue, and we've got about 7.5 miles to go till we hit the official PCT. We'll probably take a break and then continue on with our day from there.
So we took a side trail to this Watchman Tower, and you can see quite a ways. So the mountain way in the distance that you can see is Mount Shasta in California. Then the next one with snow on it is Mount McLaughlin, which we hiked right underneath. I don't know what that small little peak is, but it's in the national park here. You can kind of see where our lodge area was at. And then you've got, of course, Crater Lake, which would have been Mount Nazama, except it erupted. And then you can kind of see a tiny boat down there, right there, which is going around Mount Wizard in the middle, which you can get to. And then we go over this way. The peak further off, way over there, is Mount Thielsen, so the Pacific Crest Trail goes that way. So we'll be headed there in the next couple days. So Helium just got really afraid that he lost his sunglasses, but if you can see, they're on his face.
They're almost never on my face.
Crazy.
All right, so we started our day hiking along the rim trail along Crater Lake, and it was gorgeous and it was breezy and it was pleasant. And now we're in this really hot, really dry, dusty area where there's absolutely no shade. So Agate has decided to deploy her umbrella as a little parasol. So I'm gonna let her experiment for a while and see if it's worth it. If she reports good results, then I may pull mine out too, because it is definitely getting pretty warm. We took a lot of extra water this morning, but we ended up finding a water cache that we didn't realize existed. But anyway, it's important to stay hydrated out here, so I don't mind if we're carrying a little extra weight. But we're gonna just try and keep cool, get as far as we can.
We're skirting around the pumice desert right now, which all the rocks are pumice. So I can kick it pretty easily with weight. Close to Mars. But not going to show you because I don't know water.
Alright, so here's the situation. The first part of our day around the Crater Lake rim was gorgeous, and it was peaceful, and it was bug-free, and there was a nice breeze. And then as soon as we left the rim, it got hot and dry. Like when we were going through that pumice desert that Agate pointed out to you, it was hot. And we really couldn't stop because we needed to get out of that. And as soon as we got in the shade, the mosquitoes were waiting for us, and it was a rough few miles, and we wanted to stop because we were exhausted, our feet hurt, but we couldn't stop because the second you stopped, the mosquitoes killed you. So we just had to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and there were some tears and some obscenities, and we finally made it to the highway where we're camped out by this national forest sign. We're just like hanging out here, doing absolutely nothing, watching cars zip by. There's a resort like 10 miles down the road, and I called and they had one cabin left for like $260. We really didn't want to spend that much since we just splurged at the national park. But then like a half an hour later I caved and I called them back and it was gone. So there is a tent site about 0.1 into the woods, but I already kind of scoped it out, and it's super buggy, so we're not excited about going there. So we're just going to kind of hang out here for a while. I know there's lots of cars going by. I don't know if you can hear me. But we're just going to hang out here for a while, probably make some dinner. We're kind of waiting to see if salami pops out of the woods. And then I guess eventually we'll probably have to go set up the bug net at that campsite, but we're not very excited about it. So we're just going to stay here until we absolutely have to do something else, or until somebody randomly stops on the side of the road and invites us to come stay at their house, which, you know, does happen sometimes. But anyway, so we just thought this was pretty funny and that you might want to see our current predicament. So that's this happens sometimes. Sometimes you just don't want to do anything at all. So here we are.
So we found a campsite that's right next to the water cache, and it's kind of breezy, and there are very few mosquitoes. So we're in a little better spirits. We had some cheese and salami for dinner, and now I think it's time to rest. What do you think, Helium?
Yeah, I'm ready to listen to a few podcasts and hit the sack and start it all again. Start it all again tomorrow. Morning, everybody. We're just taking a little break. We've done about 6.1 miles today. You can see Mount Thielsen behind us. There's a trail going up. We've seen a few day hikers heading up that way, but we will not be taking that side trail because we have many more miles to do. We've got another 18 to do today. So we're just trying to break it up and take breaks where there will not be any mosquitoes. So we knew that we were safe here, so that's why we're here. So trying to ration our food. We're starting to get hungry too, so we're kind of eating through our food a little faster than we should be. But we have got, I guess, another like 2.5 days to our next resupply, so we have to ration things a little bit better. But we're having fun and we're enjoying the morning, and we're about to hit the trail again.
There's my pumice. Oh, we got stuck. Woo! Sometimes along the trail you get a little trail magic, and in this case it's a water cache. Sometimes they leave you lemonade or Coca-Cola, but water is just as good. And those people who do that are called trail angels, who are pretty awesome. So we're going to fill up this morning and then keep going up. So during the first third of the day, my feet felt fine. The second third, my feet felt like they were going to fall off and were causing me a great deal of pain. So we took a long break during that second part of the day. I took some ibuprofen, and now I've resorted to wearing Crocs. So I thought it'd be like helium and hiking Crocs. So far, so good. But we're on our last leg, and then we'll be heading eventually down to that lake where there's some breakfast waiting tomorrow. So we're at our campsite. I think those are the Three Sisters volcanoes. And we'll zoom over here. Here's our sleeping quarters for tonight. It's going to be chilly, so hopefully we'll snuggle up. And then Helium's got dinner going, so something warm to eat will be good since it is chilly out here. So it was a little cold last night, and we have some frozen water. A bunch of snow won't stop two hungry hikers from having a nice warm breakfast. So this is our accommodation for the evening. It's the Eagle's Nest Lodge. It's a little excessive for us. Look, here's our living room. Whoa. You can see you can't see the lake through there, but you can. Giant bed and a bathroom. What do you think, Helium?
It's pretty crazy. It's way more than I was expecting, but I'm not going to be too sad about it. So I'm going to check out the Wi-Fi and the TV and take a shower soon.